I wanted to make this a living. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to do it real. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to do cool ass stuff and like get paid for it. That's basically it. And it's kind of what I still want to do.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Today's guest is a lead stunt double for Magnum P.I. and has been a Spider-Man stunt double for Tom Holland and Toby Maguire. Please welcome to the JAMCast, Mr. Holland Diaz. What's up, dude?
Good, man. How you doing, man?
Yo, so sick, man. I can't even think about the last time we saw each other in person.
No, not in person. It was definitely working, probably.
Yeah, it had to have been some random daily where we were both.
Yeah, I should have thought of that before I came here.
I know.
When was the last time I actually saw you?
I know. We don't have CTE. We just really can't remember how long it's been.
It didn't land on our head for years.
Oh, man. Dude, that's so crazy to think about, too, man. And more than anything, I think it's because you've been out of town for how many years now?
I've been pretty lucky with work, man. Since 21, I've been going, but in the past 10, I've definitely been gone the whole time, every year.
And I'd say the last 3 years specifically, you've been in Hawaii, or how many years you've been out there?
Yeah, I got 3 years in Hawaii. We're going on our 4th year this year.
Damn.
Yeah, and before that it was Atlanta, because all that Marvel stuff's in Atlanta. So.
Atlanta, and before that it was back when we were in Louisiana too.
Yeah,
you and I were down there quite a bit at one point, which we'll talk about.
Before Atlanta became the spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. And so as far as Magnum is concerned, it's got to be a dream job to not only get to work in Hawaii, but be the lead double. But I see you get to have your family out there too and stuff. Or?
Yeah, dude, that was a major part because I'm trying to do ones where I can bring my family. My kid's so new, still, so I still want to spend all the time with them I can. Yeah, and they love it. My wife just goes crazy every time we have to leave. It's crazy.
And what island do you guys shoot on out there?
We're on Oahu.
Damn. So main island.
Yeah.
And how long are you guys generally out there per season? Because you guys have completed 3 and you're about to start 4?
Yeah, we're about to start 4. We usually do 9 months. Last season, right. Last season was a little short because of COVID, and they wanted to get a little jump start for next season to get on time. So, last season was probably about 6.5 to 7 months, but this one's going to be 9 again, hopefully.
Damn.
And my wife's just crying when we leave.
She's so bummed to come back here
on the plane. Yeah, and now my son's old enough to where he's cognizant of which place is which, so he's he's crying too. So.
What a life, man. What a life.
It's pretty nice.
Man, it's absolutely insane. And how did you actually stumble into that actual position on that one? Because
oh man,
it's super unique to be able to get a lead double role locked down on a show for that long,
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, how a lot of jobs are a mix of right place, right time, mixed with what you can do and what you look like. And this one, I got really lucky because Eric Norris, the great Eric Norris, hit me up and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know what's going on." He's like, "Hawaii," and I was like, "Yes." Yeah. So, I mean, once I found out all the specifics of the job, I obviously just aimed everything at it. Start looking at the actor and getting everything moving and getting all my manifestations moving towards that, because that's how I've gotten where I am today. I'm dead serious. You got to make it happen, man.
100, man. And now the one thing that I wanted to kind of ask you about is we'll delve into further into your career later, but do you enjoy doing TV now comparative to film? Because I feel like you kind of started your career as a feature guy, right?
I try not to think about it. No. Yeah, I mean, after doing it for a while, you start getting that jaded thing where you're like, I mean, I haven't been doing it extremely long. I'm on 16 years, but even after that amount of time, I started getting a little bit not I want to do cool stuff, but I just don't get super excited unless it's certain things anymore. Yeah. And no, it's nice to be able to come in and do something different all the time with different directors and stuff.
I do enjoy that too in TV. It's fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, same crew like a family, but it's fresh every couple of weeks.
Exactly, you've got your core family, and then you got this different little family coming in every now and then. You got, hey, prove yourself, and then they're cool with you, and you're like, cool, and then we're all cool, and we get something cool done. But, that being said, I think there's gives and takes, Films are big and exciting. You're doing crazy stuff with a lot of money, Usually.
Yes.
Wait, sometimes these
sometimes.
days.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh man, yeah, it's crazy to think about just like the differences between TV and stuff like that. Because I started my career as a feature guy too,
Right.
alongside with you. Actually,
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
my first 2 runs in the industry were with you.
What was your very first
My
one?
very first run was Twilight Breaking Dawn.
Wait, that was the first run?
that was my first run.
No, I thought you had something before that.
Nah, that was my first run.
Oh hell!
That was my first run.
Well, that's how good you were. We were like, okay, he's been doing it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I was the newest person on there besides Anise at the time.
Oh yes.
Me and baby
God,
Anise.
it was so fun meeting Anise for the first time. I was such a fan of his.
I've talked about that team like multiple times.
What a team, right?
On the show. Yeah, to this day, hands down, we'll never get a team like that.
Yeah, you
again.
won't. No.
Yeah, no one's that free all at once.
Yeah, and what a show too. Like we were just like action extras almost at one point.
Just like glorified background.
Oh, God, yeah.
They were like getting murked and stuff.
They're like, yeah, this is our team of stunt guys, and it's like you had a team of like killers. It was amazing.
It was crazy was that it was so such an early time back in I guess let's say the tax incentive days of film.
Yeah.
That man, it really hit me hard when I landed there because like I was so stoked. It was my first job, my first like run, you know, and I'm super stoked. And then not to say that it wasn't cool and we didn't like make crazy overtime money.
Oh, we did great. Yeah.
But I remember like,
and we fought for those resids.
Yes.
Too.
And I remember we were being held up though in this like room that was like, it used to hold livestock and there was cages in the back.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah, I forgot that, dude.
Yeah,
we were in
like
an animal. It was like a big.
They used to hold rodeos there.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Like animal show place, convention center. Oh God, that was.
Which is crazy because then my second movie was also with you, and it was in Louisiana as well.
Oh, dude.
Percy Jackson and Sea of Monsters.
Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters.
Yes.
We called it other things, but
yeah. And that was a fun job too, man.
Oh man,
and
I had a blast on that job. Yeah, I
Such a
seriously
good
did.
time.
New Orleans, dude. You can't. I mean, go wild.
And we had a lot of the same guys from Twilight on that. Like Brewster was on that one too. Aaron Toney was on that one too.
Dude, yes.
Crazy.
So New Orleans was having its like moment, its big
heyday.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah. For those that don't know, like how long was that? Like that was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
09?
Yeah, because
started?
these places get their tax incentives, and unless they do everything perfectly, like Atlanta, perfect
like
example.
Detroit lost it.
Yeah,
Detroit had an incentive at one point.
they didn't build their infrastructure correctly.
out.
I guess. Yeah, I mean it's really hard to do. It's not like you can point fingers at like, oh, they did this wrong or that, this and that. But like, it's smart that when that tax incentive comes, it's smart if a bunch of people sit and go, okay, what's the best way to keep this and make it profitable for us, and still positive for where the places are. And a lot of places don't build them in the right place. Like
They're
New
not
Orleans
ready.
built second line studios in the middle of like Garden District.
I know.
It's like buildings that are straight up. You
Yeah.
can't use the top.
You can't, yeah.
No.
No, it's so crazy to think about. Atlanta definitely has done it right. And it's kind of
amazing.
almost unfair because Atlanta's such a big city to begin with, you know? I mean, yeah, the NBA like does all of their stuff out of their broadcasting. TNT does all their stuff, you know?
Oh
So
man,
it's like,
someone there's thinking.
Yeah.
Like there are groups of people there are doing some amazing thinking. Like there all those places that they own, like out in the woods, Pinewood, all these other studios. When they can't build something inside, they just go outside, cut down some trees.
just make it happen.
Yeah, and they have a whole outside set that looks like whatever they want. It's insane.
Yeah, it's so bananas, man. And one of the things I wanted to ask you though, and kind of just to delve like into your history is like, if I'm not mistaken, you're from Louisiana, right?
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans.
So what was that like going back there for work? And like, when did you first initially move away from there?
Oh man, I left when I was 18, and I went to a junior college in San Diego for a little while, I think like 8 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna get up to LA and start trying to. I knew I wanted to be a stunt guy since I was a little kid, but I didn't tell anybody I didn't really believe in myself or think I really could do it. But at one point, I just left junior college down in San Diego and started living with my dad up in Santa Monica.
Okay.
And telling him that I wanted to go to junior college in Santa Monica, which was basically high school, that SAMO college, yeah. And I went to a couple classes and was never in class. I was on the beach training, swinging on the rings, which I'm obsessed with in Santa Monica. If anybody knows about the rings in Santa Monica, like I'm obsessed with them. So
check out his Instagram.
Yeah. Check out the Insta for that. So like I was there all the time, meeting people, circus people, and getting into to know people and stunts and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of like briefly how it happened. But yeah, I had some gymnastics teachers at Gymnastica Olympica because I'd come out in the summers to see my dad. My dad lived out here. And I'd come out in the summers when I was really little to go to Gymnastica Olympica. And I had 2 gymnastics teachers named Jay and John. Shout out Jay and John. they were Power Rangers back in the day.
No way.
And I was enamored with them.
Yeah.
Completely enamored with them. And like they'd take me off to the side every now and then and teach me like little face-offs and like little reactions and stuff. And I was just like blown away by it all. So when I was 18, I just left New Orleans and came out to LA and started teaching at a little gymnastics gym for some money and doing PA work and meeting people. And then slowly I met all the Real Kick boys, and we trained at that gymnastics gym that I taught at with Tim Storms and all those guys.
That is crazy.
And everybody just kind of branched off.
Yeah, and for those that don't know what Real Kick is, can you just let them know who's a member of that as well?
Yeah, Real Kick is headed up by our Sam Hargrave.
You may have heard of him.
You may have heard of him. The director of Extraction and
Captain America Stunt Double.
Yeah, Captain America Stunt Double. Oh, look, this isn't Sam's.
Yeah, we'll get Sam on.
You could talk about Sam for 20 podcasts.
Oh yeah, and there's so many connections for each person has a story. Like I have a connection deep rooted with him through Vlad, from high school.
Yeah,
it's like
and the branches that branch off. It's so amazing. Like
great.
that's what I love about our business.
Yeah,
it's so amazing.
So who else besides Sam?
Yeah, so so Sam, we got Thayer Harris.
Yes,
the great Thayer Harris.
Yes,
circus man, taekwondo man, all over amazing cinematographer man.
He shot me in some of my first previses at 8711.
There it is.
Yep.
And he's second unit directing now. He's killing it. Fernando Chien.
Yes, young Fern, who's also been a crossover actor as well.
Yeah,
roles in like Fast and Furious.
Breakdancer, actor,
exactly.
Everything. Like the multi-talented Fernando Chien. Alex Huynh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huynh. Wushu.
Yeah. Let me get that for you, Alex. Huynh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hella crazy, man. And so for those that don't know, you were an independent fight team who basically like trained, put together like little fights and released videos and stuff online. So
Sam and Thayer had been filming things since they were young.
Yeah.
Jackie addicts that were like going through all of Jackie's films and breaking them down and learning camera. And they've always been amazing like that. So when we all got together, we all started shooting shorts. And it basically consisted of Sam doing amazing things. And me and Alex and Thayer screwing around.
It's such a good one. One of my favorite ones is the park fight.
Oh yeah,
playground park fight, which is a recreation of another fight, right?
Yeah. That was AT's recreation for his little 8711
audition type thing. Yeah. Yeah, there's some fun stuff in there. I remember Brewster gets he does like 3/4 back on the top of the monkey bars.
Yeah,
man, it's crazy to think about how long ago that was.
That was a good one, man. I'm gonna go back and watch that. That was a good one.
I know. Yeah, I'll try to put it on the screen right now
because I think that's the best thing for like if young stunt people watch this at all. Let's just say it here. So
please, that's why this is to help spread knowledge.
Yeah,
so please,
for sure. Like so many younger guys are always asking me, and this is what helped me, and this is what all my friends did for me too, and helped me and involved me within that made me learn anything that I know today. And that's take your favorite fights, learn them, break them down, shot for shot. Look at everything they do, redo them completely before you start
choreographing yourself.
Yes.
Guys, please hit the rewind button. I don't know how many times we have said that on this podcast specifically. We literally tell people to just mimic fights, and then you have a template to go side by side and compare it to, and you don't have to think about choreography and where.
And it's not a snobby thing. I'm not saying it to be snobby and be like, don't do your own stuff to not you don't deserve it yet. It's not like that. No. It's just like learn the basics.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think that translates in so many things these days.
A lot of people get in their own way, and they almost like shoot themselves in the foot by saying like, oh, I'm not ready to shoot stuff, or I'm not ready to choreograph. And it's like, you're not. That's why you should just mimic stuff.
Right. Yeah. Mimic it. And then once you get proficient, then start doing your own stuff, adding your own flavor and all that.
And so like growing up, obviously you mentioned how you had some, experiences going to Geo and stuff like that. But did you have any other like martial arts or acrobatic background growing up?
Dude, I did some judo when I was a little kid.
Okay.
I was always a huge fan of fighting. My dad was like he produced like the video side of the first couple of UFCs. So I was like a huge fan. Like he'd take me to bring me to them in like Casper, Wyoming when I was like 11.
Back when that was the only places that would hold fights.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
and nobody knew about
anywhere
fights.
else, you know, yeah.
Yeah, like want to tank Abbott's first knockouts. Like I'm literally on the ring, like 10 years old, like turning white, like scared as hell. Like, yeah, and everybody empties out of the backgrounds, you know, because they don't understand knockouts yet.
Yeah,
they're freaked out. They thought they killed somebody.
Exactly.
You know, so they just all left, and then it would be empty for the main fights.
Yo, it's so wild.
It's hilarious.
Man, so you really didn't have any martial arts back, and you just basically picked up skills inherently over the years.
Yeah, no, I did a little bit of boxing as a kid.
Okay.
Not much at all. I had some friends that were wrestlers, like in high school.
Okay.
So I was always a wily kind of little scrappy wrestler.
You've always been fast twitch as long as I've known you.
Yeah, that's probably one of the only things
But
I got going for me.
I think that's cool though for people to hear because, like, I mean, to be really honest with you, the majority of the guests that I've had on the show, and probably because they're friends of mine, almost like 99% of them grew up doing martial arts.
Yeah,
or had a background in martial arts, and I feel like that can be intimidating for some of our listeners out there, or anyone wanting to be a stunt person in general.
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely a case of that. Like if
you
you
just,
see me,
you know-
if you see me moving at full speed, you would think that I got some
I
background.
assumed you did some sort of formal stuff.
Something.
Yeah.
I mean, but a lot of people would definitely pick me out and be like, no, you know what I mean? No. But for film fighting and stuff like that these days, you would think I'd know something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all through, I mean, my diverse team. Like literally that's what I like got to, how I got to paint it all.
Yeah.
Was like watching we had Sam Hargrave and they were good TKD guys.
Totally.
And we had Fernie who had his Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. And
Alex had the Chinese martial
Alex
arts.
Alex had wushu.
Yeah.
So he could show us how to, you know, swing his arms around real fast. It was amazing.
In big circles. Hella fast.
God, he was good.
Oh man, it's super cool, man. I like I said, I think that's really cool for our listeners to hear, just so that they can see like what is possible, you know.
Yeah.
And along the lines of that, like before we jump into the doubling of Spidey and all the other stuff that you've done, what was your first stunt job?
Spidey.
And that's the craziest part about it. I knew the answer to that.
I was tafted for Spidey 3.
Spider-Man 3. And what's crazy is they don't credit you on IMDb, which is so jacked up. But clearly you worked on the film and you're in the ending credits of the film.
It went away at one point. Wow. Yeah, it was there for a long time.
But for those that did not hear what he said, he basically got into the union and got his SAG card on a little movie known as Spider-Man 3. And you got to double
Toby Maguire. Yeah, I was doubling Toby.
Crazy.
I was very young. I was, you know, young and dumb. And it was with a team of really, really knowledgeable guys who had done some amazing things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the list of names was just insane. It was like that team. I mean, I'm sure that group of guys thinks back like, whoa, that was a team.
Yeah. Just like I think about Twilight. It's like in my mind, it's like, whoa, what a team too.
It was that for, you know, those guys. It was insane.
Yeah.
You had, you know, the best riggers all together and they were all one company. And then you had like, you can't even imagine like.
How'd you get the call for that one? Especially being a kid that wasn't in the industry and not SAG yet.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's because we were all training, you know, with Real Kick, and Tim Storms knew Dan Bradley, who was the second year director, and they were good friends. And he brought me in for an audition. I looked enough like him, and they really pushed for me and put me in an amazing spot. And it was a huge opportunity. Huge. It was like, yeah, and it was the kind of thing like going in, I knew it was beyond me. Like I knew it was way beyond me. And, you know, at times I was definitely rolling around in the white water.
Yeah.
On that one.
I was going to say, man, I mean, because obviously leading up to that, you had done some independent fights and stuff like that. But had you done like large scale wire work at that point? Had you like.
Oh, no. That job was we had done wire work training with our team because we'd have guys come
like
over.
out in the trees and shit.
Yeah, on the trees or in the gymnastics gym, we'd literally have guys who had gear.
Yeah, of course, with Tim stuff especially.
Yeah, Tim had some gear, and we'd put a V up, and we'd do basic like this is how you do front flips on a wire without like looking like you're pivoting from your hip and everything.
But not Spider-Man wire work.
No. I only just had my basic air awareness from like gymnastics, flipping around the streets, and rollerblading and stuff like that, and snowboarding. So I had like basic air awareness from all that. But yeah, I was thrown into the fire with like Go Stunts guys who were, best in the business with all of that stuff, doing high speed winch motor moves, jumping from 70 feet and catching the winch motor 8 feet from the ground and landing, on the all kinds of really dangerous stuff. And I got I got thrown in the fire. I got thrown right in the fire, and it was the best thing for me. They beat the tar out of me.
Dude, I can't even imagine what that's like. Like literally having no real on-set experience and then going into a lead spot like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of I shut up and just looked around and listened. There was a lot of not being myself, because if I was myself, I mean, me, if I was myself right away, everybody would be like, whoa, Jesus.
Yeah. That is crazy, man. And how long were you on that movie for?
That was 6 or 7 months.
Probably more money you ever seen.
Oh, I didn't understand. I started looking at houses in LA. Everybody's like, yo, it's a little more than that, bro.
You get into another Spider-Man. And then
you maybe work for 10 years and collect some money.
That is crazy, dog. And now, do you remember, was there I'm just so blown away at this, because I personally have friends that work on the new ones now, and I know that they do so much digi-double stuff. Anytime Spider-Man leaves the ground now, the majority of it is digital replacement.
You're a reference a lot these days. Yeah.
Was there a gag that stood out in your mind as the most difficult, or anything that kind of pushed you to the limits on that film?
Which one? Which film?
On Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 3 or on 3, the newer one?
On 3. On your first ever one.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that one. I kind of mentioned that one. Well, there was some during the Green Goblin scene where James Franco's flying and beating up Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And there were some that pushed my physical limits, because, I was 21, 22, and I was, of course, I can do whatever, beat me. Come on, beat me. When they wanted to try and beat me up and make me tap, that was me. I would push forward at those moments. I'm a cancer. That's just how, I guess that's how we are. We just I would push forward and be like, oh, you're gonna have to break me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there were definitely physical breaking points. I think that was probably the hardest, because I was I tested a lot. I tested a lot on that movie, and there were points where he was whipping. There's times when he was supposed to be whipping me into the building, he's flying down and there's a shot that made it in the final whip where he whips me into the column of a building as he's flying at 60 miles an hour, and it was me. They were saying oh, we're not getting the hit on you right, and it's me hanging upside down, with 8 puppet lines on me with different guys around, pumpeting me into spinning around, making it look as violent as it can. Once you go one way, they whip you back the other way. But they're basically swinging me out 12 feet and into our buddy Colin Fallenwider, who's in a green suit with a kick pad.
No way. Okay.
Covered in green, and he's tagging me in different parts of the body as I'm coming in to make it look like the pillars are hitting me. And they're like, oh, it's just not violent enough, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, it feels good.
It feels violent to me.
Yeah, but so at the last one, I'm just like, yo, Colin, I'm just going to swing out. When I come in, I'm going to go limp and just get me right, at the base.
Oh, no. Knockout zone.
Yeah, full whiplash, neck to the chin to the chest to the back. And that gave me probably one of my worst concussions that I can remember. One of them. Yeah, and puking for a week. Yeah, it was a mess. So that kind of stuff, yeah. And I try to be tough and not say I was hurt, not say anything about it, because I heard from older guys that's don't be a wuss, you know.
Stuntman creed.
Yeah,
suck it up. Yeah.
And then I later on, and it led to a week later when I'm getting yanked up the wall when Goblin comes in to punch the wall, and I that I'm getting whipped upside down, so my brain's jiggling back in the juices again before it's ready.
It's all about the brain rattle. That's what concussions are.
Right. And I end up going into concussion relapse and get off the line and go into convulsions right in front of everybody and lock up and start seizing.
Bro.
Yeah, it was a mess.
I've been there before on G.I. Joe when I had my head split open, full concussion. I was back on the line 2 days later. Yeah, so horrible for you. So bad for you. And ours was side loaded because we're on the mountain, and this is where my head got cut, and we were loaded this way. So
that was the sword.
Yeah, every take I'd have to be like, put me up. The blood's pumping my staples, because it's just insane, bro. the
things we do. Yeah, the things you do. Yeah.
But we both got Teslas now, so
yeah, we're all good. We're all good.
Tesla gang.
We can obviously speak.
Yeah, for now. We just can't remember a lot of things. But
yeah, we'll see what the synapses do later.
So were you hooked on stunts after that, or were you burned out and scared?
See, that's the thing.
It's like it's like I'm sure it's a unique position to be in after that. It's
well,
like,
every job is, the agony, the pain, the sweat, the tears, every job has its ups and downs, some better than others. But yeah, that one really made me go, hey, do I want to do this?
That's what I was wondering, because you saw how intense it could be also.
Oh, yeah. And then I saw that the guys are, they don't change since they're my age. Yeah. you know what I mean? Yeah. The guys are still kids throwing, 5-pound sandbags at each other's balls and stuff.
Totally.
So, and I'm just like, so I'm like getting out of junior college going, well, that shit's like high school. I don't want to be there. And I come to the set of Spider-Man 3 and I'm like, oh.
They're big kids getting paid.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, man. I'm just one little feather here. I'm just here for the ride.
Yo, that is
learning.
So wild.
So I just took it as an opportunity to learn from all these amazing dudes. These guys were all legends. Brad Martin and Scott Rogers and Chris O'Hara and all these guys are, they're legends. So, and I knew it coming in. I doubt they knew that I did my homework before I came in.
Yeah, of course.
Like guys, I think from our generation, like when we started Stunts, like we came in knowing who the dudes were and what they've done in order to pay the proper respect. I mean, I guess that comes from martial arts with you.
Yeah, for me it does, but it is a far overlooked thing. It really surprises me a lot of times. I'll like say someone's name and they're like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "Look it up right now." This is like so
don't
easy.
take that moment even to say who is that. In your mind, go, I know. Make them think you know who it is, and then run off and
and look it up, dog,
Google
and then you
it.
know.
You know what I mean?
It's amazing.
Don't let them think you don't know stuff.
Exactly, dog. Exactly. Everything's an audition, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Man, that is wild, dog. So after that, like obviously you stuck with it and continued to pursue stunts at a career level, I guess, for lack of a better term. Did you like abandon school at that point? Like,
yeah, I definitely looked at the old guys right older than me.
Yeah.
The Bryson Counts and
yes.
that group of guys, and I was like, I wanted to be these guys. I wanted to make this a living. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to do it real. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to do cool ass stuff and like get paid for it. That's basically it. And it's kind of what I still want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm holding on to that for dear life,
bro. You have no idea. The reality of time has been hitting me so hard the last couple of years, dog. Right. And I'm sure even more so, with the birth of your child, I'm sure it's just heightened it even more. So,
and I named him Wilder, so it's like, and he's living up to it. So yeah, he's gonna age me like. Yeah,
I'm sure he's gonna keep you on your toes. Yeah, man, it's so funny. When you just mentioned Bryson's name, it reminded me of a story that I don't even know if you know this, and that's why I gotta talk about it before I forget it with my CTE brain. Back in the days, damn, I don't remember the characters we were, but do you remember when you worked on Teen Wolf?
Yeah,
at a certain point, and do you remember that they custom fit teeth on you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you left to go work on another job.
No, they didn't.
And I got called to replace you.
You didn't know my wonky
And I
teeth.
show up, and they're like, "Hey, put these in." And I'm like, "What are these?"
No.
And y'all,
No, they did not.
They made me try on your custom fit teeth that were molded to your mouth, bro. And I tried to put it in. I'm
Bro,
like,
you made out with me. You never freaking even told me.
I'm like, bro, these don't fit. I'm like, these don't fit. They're like, yeah, they're not gonna fit. I'm like, why? They're like, these are Hollands. I'm like,
that is so messed up, dude.
can you believe this, bro?
I went to the dentist right before that. I promise. Deep cleaning. Yeah, no. He would hire. What were we?
I forget the name.
Oni.
Oh, wow, you remembered that, bro.
I can't believe I remember that.
I can't believe you remember that.
I can't
either.
remember the last thing I was
Mad
doing the
props.
other day.
That was an intense role. And dude, one of those days on that show, I got food poisoning at breakfast. God. At breakfast.
From the show?
Yeah, from the show, catering. It hit me so hard instantly that like I was throwing up instantly on the spot, like every 2 minutes. And I literally was like, yo guys, can we replace me? Like my buddy Jay Kwong's my sizes. I know he needs the money. Let me call him right now. He'll do this in a minute. He'll show up. And they like wouldn't let me go, bro. And like I'll never forget it. Like to this day, every take we'd fight and I'd have to run over and throw up in a trash bag.
Oh my God.
And then go back to one. And then
Literally
fight.
like probably the nightmare of our job, I think, would be to be that ill.
Yeah, and know
like
you're
in front of a whole crew. Know you're that sick and know you're like throw up.
I couldn't. If we were just doing basic shit, it'd be easy. But we're doing fight scenes, and I'm like, bro, can't be doing this right now.
No, that's brutal. That's the only thing I've heard worse is Ralphie's story.
What is? Can you say this story?
I won't give a last name.
Yeah, don't say the last name. There we go.
But he always had this story about how he like severe explosive diarrhea before like wires, and it was just like, oh god, I gotta leave, and it was like running off of set.
Did he make it?
I think.
Oh, no, Doug.
But yeah, like nothing worse. Crew of 100 people staring at you.
Yeah, and you're
3, 2,
and you're in our artist.
like weird sounds coming from your mouth.
Holy crap, man.
Know.
Dude, I think one of the things that's like super unique about your career also is that not a lot of people get to double the same iconic character for a different actor, if that makes sense. Because you not only got the chance to double for Toby, but you also got to double for Tom in some regards, right?
I did, yeah. I did it again on Homecoming.
Homecoming. And then also, did you work on one of the Avengers also?
I did Infinity Wars and Endgame. Yeah, that was kind of my aim. Once I got on Spidey Homecoming,
yes,
I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Avengers, and I'm going to do Infinity Wars. I'm going to do Endgame, and I think I'm going to be good there.
Good on that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was like my plan once I got onto Homecoming.
Now, over the years, has the suit evolved to be better for action, or have you noticed any differences?
You would think so.
And that was why I'm asking you.
I'm pretty sure it's like starting over most times.
Wow.
Because different people did it back in the day on the old Spider-Mans. That was a whole different team.
Studio house.
Yeah,
okay,
and then they use, I think, Legacy
for
Legacy does most of everything good these days, right?
Yeah.
I can't.
They pretty much do everything.
Everything,
yeah.
right?
Legacy is like the big one. Yeah.
Oh, I felt so cool when I was going there for fittings for Homecoming.
Do your body scans and stuff. And,
oh yeah. I still got all the videos from that. I'm gonna keep them for my son. So
yeah,
where they're like, oh, try on this skin, and at one point they were fitting the head shell to me, and I was just nerding out like the new magnets. And they're telling me, oh, this is where we're going to put the fans. And I'm like, what? And you got little fans for your temples so you can reach into your nostril and turn a fan on because it's going to be hot in Georgia.
Wow.
So spray. They didn't do anything.
It doesn't work. Yeah. The fans never work.
Extra weight in the helmet.
Yeah, the fans never, ever work, guys. I've never had a single suit where I was like, these fans are amazing.
How about just like organize your day so that stunt players aren't murdered in your suits for... I'm ruthless these days. I just say it.
No, yeah. It's the jaded but truthful jadedness. It's These are things that I think about all the time. I'm like,
let's not act lucky to be here. Let's act.
Yeah,
like
the business should be getting easier at this point, and I feel like in a lot of ways it's not.
Look, I can't speak to the new ones. I've been done with it for a while, and honestly, the last 2 times I did it, which were the best experiences on Avengers, it was a mocap suit. It's Iron Spidey.
No way.
Yeah, so we're in a mocap suit,
like in a onesie,
full onesie. You don't feel cool.
Yeah,
but as long as you can stay in it, like, yeah. I mean, I got choke slammed by Thanos, and that was real. You know, it was pretty fun. Into pads, it was great.
Yeah, mocap world is a dream. Okay, it's a dream. And between all of the ones that you've worked on, is there like one that you're most proud of, or one that stands out in your mind as a favorite one? I guess, like if someone were to ask you to show them one of your films that you were doubling,
think it'd probably bits of a couple of them.
Okay.
But there were just parts of Avengers that I just felt were so like part of something. You're really part of something here.
You're part of something big.
Yeah. I mean, there's one thing to do like Sony driven Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Sony's had a hold on the Spider-Man movies for so long that they've been doing their own thing. You know?
Yeah. Separate from the Marvel stuff.
And they have their own process of the way they do things and everything. Down from production to even the story and everything, but there's something to be said about these Marvel ones, and the Avengers there's parts of Avengers like I got to act out a lot of the moments with Mantis in that scene on the ship where she's kind of chasing me and I'm scurrying along the ground, webbing her. I was really happy with some of the movement that I got to put in there.
That's dope.
And there's a lot of movement that I got to put in Homecoming too. That was fun. Like the bank scene, me and Ilram Choi came up with the coolest segments for the little bank scene fight. And him and I got to go in there and really film a bulk of it.
That's so
cool.
Dope.
Yeah, so we're stoked about that.
That is so crazy. And does your son have an understanding of you being in the suit, or is he still too young?
I think he's just getting there now because he's like 3. He's turning 4 soon, 3.5, and he loved, of course he loves Spider-Man. That's like ingrained into him,
Yeah.
into every kid, like right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. Sometimes he'll be like Spider-Man, and like look at Spider-Man, and every now and then it'll be like, it's you, Daddy, and I'm like,
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm like, it's interesting because I'm like, where does it
Yeah.
change for him? I don't know. It's probably just little bits of fleeting consciousness. Yeah.
And would you ever allow him to pursue the industry based on knowing what you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'd allow him to do anything he'd
Okay.
really love to do. Do I aim at him being a stunt guy?
Better question,
Like,
I guess. Yeah.
I don't think I aim at it. I don't know if I have a choice at this point. Because I mean, the dude he's just wild. And I can see him like come up to something and like look at it, and he just doesn't throw caution to the wind. And like, he is really like daredevil-y. He'll jump off stuff, but sometimes when things are out of his range, you can see him kind of like analyzing, like, I think this is a little beyond me. And I'm like, that's a good quality.
Yeah. Totally.
I was like, you're gonna be a performer, not a
Be able to assess things.
yeah. We're not just gonna slam you around. Sweet.
Do you have plans to expand the family anymore? Or are you good with Wilder?
Yeah, we definitely want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we definitely want more. Of course, we're kind of just playing it, with the wind right now.
Yeah.
But if it happens, it happens.
Super.
But yeah. And I think Wilder definitely wants a brother or sister or something.
Yeah.
He's gonna need it.
And do you think that you'll always stay here in Los Angeles, or?
That's tough, dude. Everybody I know's left.
That's
what about
I'm
you?
asking you. I've been, honestly, in full transparency, I've been looking at other places too, outside of California for the first time in my life.
Me too. I mean, it saddens me. I mean, watching LA right now is like watching a best friend get beat to death, and there's nothing you can do about it.
My friends in New York say the same thing. They're like,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
I was actually born in Manhattan. I don't have a lot of connection to it because I left by the time I was 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can totally see that. A lot of things are going wrong here. So, but yeah, all of my stunt team left. My whole stunt team's gone.
Yep.
I think some of them still have places here. I mean, I think one of them still has a place here.
But the rest are all, different
yeah.
states, all spread out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to keep my house here for sure. So, because I mean, this place made me. I came here to be a stuntman,
Yeah.
So, and it's never done anything but give me every opportunity. I've been good to it. It's been good to me.
Yeah, I think it's super unique, like we said, that you actually mentioned it early on that you had a dream of doing it since you were a kid. You just never mentioned it to anybody. And for most of the guests that I've had on here, I feel like the majority of them didn't discover it until a lot later in life. Like,
Right.
Kind of at the point of necessity when they're like, am I going to go to college, or am I going to pursue stunts? Or
Right.
like, what's this next step in my martial arts journey now that I've won these world titles? What do I do now?
Totally.
And so for someone like yourself that like had such a unique path and chose to move out to LA, what advice would you give to people that are like up and coming stunt performers as far as like pursuing this as a career? Like we mentioned how to start doing fight scenes and mimicking and stuff, but like what advice would you have to someone that's trying to pursue this?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to, a lot of jaded people are going to tell you in LA that it's right place, right time. And of course, there's a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
But, after there's right place, right times, what can you do? Prove it. Can we trust you? So I think like everybody has that kind of like right place, right time moments in their career. Everybody has that little bit of luck. And my little bit of luck is that I had good friends that forced me into situations of learning.
Yeah.
I mean, would I have gotten together with friends and really like scripted things out and wanted to tell a story? I mean, maybe. If you look at my Instagram, like I tell little goofy stories every now and then, and people are like, "Oh, you should direct," and I'm just like, this is just for fun. I'm literally just playing." And but I had friends that really put me in scenarios to learn, and that was my blessing. So what I would really say to somebody who's trying to get into this business is like, if you want to be successful in it, if you want it to be a real job and the only thing you do, give everything. You got aim every ounce of your being at it, because that's what it's going to take probably to get to what you're thinking.
And just to put it in perspective, before you really started working consistently, or I guess even in between jobs when you get these breaks, how often were you training in these early stages of your career?
Oh man, with Real Kick, we used to train, we used to get together 3-4 times a week and train around. And I luckily at the time, I was teaching gymnastics gym. So I would teach a couple classes, gym would close, and or I'd come at times and train. So I was constantly training then, and I was constantly picking the brains of people that I knew were stunt people, and hearing their experiences, learning air rams, ratchets, and still trying to drive my motorcycle. Or I had motorcycles at the time, so I was still trying to drive my motorcycles. I'd driven motorcycles since I was 5 years old, so that I'd always kept one around, and try to keep up on that. But learn everything you can learn about stuff that can help you. Yeah. Seriously, just like learn everything. But these days, learn camera.
Yeah, it's such a big help.
I mean, it's learn camera and telling story, and yeah.
It's an easy way to move up into the ranks of this industry.
Yeah,
a lot quicker than you.
We've seen people do it in a year.
Yeah, 100%.
Come from being extras to a stunt person to second unit directing within
life-changing stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely life-changing stuff. Yeah,
you could find something that your brain picks up on like that, and you're amazing at it.
Yeah, 100.
So yeah.
And I know outside of stunts and stuff, I think one of the cool things about you, and I feel like balance is such an important thing in our industry, especially for our like mental and physical well-being. But
right.
One of the things that I always am so stoked on seeing is you constantly putting out footage of you rollerblading or out on the rings and using your 360 camera and stuff like that.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
How long have you been, I guess, how long have you been rollerblading for, inline skating for and stuff?
Oh, man, I started rollerblading when I was 10 or 11. I think it was like 1993, and that's pretty much like when it was starting. I think they had like some aggressive skating.
I was going to say, aggressive inline used to be a term I'd hear all the time.
But Arlo and and Chris Edwards and the boys, shout out Arlo and Chris Edwards and all those dudes, the legends. They were just creating those tricks around those times, and I was enamored by them. Like, all of my heroes when I was a kid were a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
And they were all building that sport. So yeah, I was around for a lot of that as a kid. I was really into that, and I stopped when I was like 18, 19, because the sport took a pretty good hit.
Yeah.
And then, And
then we talked about off camera.
Yeah, which we've talked about. And the world doesn't know much about. But yeah, it was that sport was stomped on a good bit. But during these days and times, it's kind of coming back, and it's having a resurgence. If you look online, there's kids doing insane things on rollerblades. Insane. Yeah. Like video game, Tony Hawk kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Video game stuff on rollerblades. It's out of control.
Yeah,
so you can say whatever you want about it, but you look what they're doing. They're doing it with style, and you're like, wow,
dude. I mean, I see people get made fun of for scootering and stuff, and
those kids are insane.
Some stuff on there, I'm like, I would never try that.
Never.
You'll die.
Never.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize is there's a progression to get there.
Yeah, the learning.
So how are you making fun of people who aren't like they? It doesn't make any sense. Like. Hating on something I couldn't imagine hating on something that made someone happy.
And so like I've always wanted to ask you this because as you mentioned, you kind of stopped for a little bit and stuff like that. I personally in the last couple of years have just been really throwing myself back into training and trying my best to get into parkour again and stuff.
About that. Yeah.
And I just wanted to know what got you so much back into rollerblading?
Definitely the quarantine.
Okay.
And then we had like a slow year on Magnum because of the quarantine, because of, certain things about COVID. A lot of our action kind of got toned down last season, and they did a lot of character development on our show, which was great. We had great ratings last season, which actually pumped for this new season, this fourth season coming up, which is fantastic. But in that downtime, I was like, I was getting older. I was seeing it on me. And there's nothing worse for your body probably than extreme sports.
100%.
But there's also no workout like rollerblading that I've ever had. Jiu-jitsu and fighting kind of is on that same like pressure in terms of pressure it's putting on your body. Rollerblading is definitely up there. Rollerblading like targets your freaking love handles and stuff. It's weird.
Crazy.
Just all the balance you're using and the air, doing stuff in the air and hucking these weights around on your feet is like. It's like you'll burn 1,500 calories in an hour and a half in a skate park. Yeah, it's out of control. So I kind of did it to kind of like reinvigorate myself, and I found myself kind of like my body getting younger again. Yes. If I wasn't pushing it and trying to like like do huge crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I'm still pushing it too much
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now because I'm falling. My wrists and my hands are taking it.
That was my question for you was like, how do you find the balance between staying safe for work while also making sure that you still like have fun?
Being extremely lucky these days. Yeah.
Do you pad up when you ride?
Definitely.
Okay.
Not my arms or anything, but I put knee pads on.
Okay.
Because if anything's gonna take it, my knees are. I'm able to fall. Like if you're decent enough at something, you can find ways to fall that aren't
Save yourself. Yeah.
Like look at Anise, he's not gonna wear a pad, friggin'. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100.
But I'm coming back, so I'll wear knee pads. But all the pros, you watch all these pro rollerbladers these days, they're in shorts.
I know, dog.
With no freaking pads on.
Like, what's the plan?
Coming at a rail at 20 miles an hour.
Oh yeah.
And
Full
jumping
speed.
10 feet onto it, like you're just like, the skill is out of control.
There's so many variables that could go wrong, as we know from stunts. It's like
my favorite thing to say.
Yeah.
The variables.
Variables, dog.
So many variables here. Because it's true.
It's a stunt
all that
thing
matters.
for sure. Yeah. Dude, that is crazy. And now, obviously, you still have an obsession with the rings we talked about earlier and stuff like that.
Love 'em.
What drives you to make these like videos, and how long does it take you to produce and make each of these with the edits?
Oh,
and
dude,
stuff?
they're quick.
Okay.
They're all don't. I do them all on my phone.
Okay.
I just send them from my phone, over from my little 360 camera right onto my phone, edit them right there.
I was gonna ask you, how difficult is it to edit that footage? Because I've heard like mixed reviews. Some people say it's hard to do, and others say it's not that bad.
I mean, for me, it's really easy now. I can do it like I do iMovie on my on my phone. But the Insta 360 platform is pretty user friendly.
Okay.
And has like a lot of really cool options, and it even has like little templates like for like tricks, like trick shots that you can just, if you film it in the correct fashion,
Yeah.
you dump it into that template and it does everything for you.
Oh,
But I don't really use those because those are like cloning things and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I've done them like once in a while for
Yeah,
like a fun little thing.
Totally.
But no, I usually frame my own shots by I'll slow-mo the whole video,
Okay.
and then I'll go into VR mode, and like so that where I'm looking, I'm filming.
Yeah.
And then that way, when I press the record button, you can zoom in and out on the record button, and it's recording as you're zooming in and out.
No way.
So I'll record, and I'm in it, and I'm looking around, and then after that, I'll take that slow mo off. That I only put the slow mo in so I can just to get the shot perfect, so I can be at the frame that I want to be at in the movement. So that's why you'll see in a lot of my skating videos, like the shot will go with the movement of with the move.
Crazy.
And you won't get that hard turn. Which when you use waypoints, it usually does that.
Okay. Yeah, I've honestly been seeing a bunch of dope 360 shots, and I'm like, damn, I need to just experiment.
Future stuff.
It's crazy.
Insane.
That is wild, dog.
Be able to pick your shot in post is.
Yeah, that's the craziest part, is to have that ability to just be like, oh, I want to look over there.
Oh yeah, when I'm filming, I don't have to. I think about distance. That's all I think about.
Just proximity,
distance and height. And I don't think about what it's looking at because I know I'm getting everything.
Crazy.
And at 5.7K if you want.
No way. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, dog. And so at this point, man, like obviously we talked about like all the things that you've accomplished, like work wise, and we've literally, only talked about a few of the major jobs and stuff like that. What are your current goals?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm asking myself all the time. Because you got to have goals, right?
Yeah, right.
Or at least they tell me that. No, I'm joking. I thought I wanted to coordinate at one point, and I did for a little while. Me and my buddy Chris Brewster coordinated some things. Shout out Chris Brewster.
Yeah, shout out Chris.
We did it together for a little while there, and I think he's doing that, and he's killing it. That guy's amazing. He can do
currently
anything.
fight coordinating Black Adam.
Yeah, he's
in Atlanta.
I don't know if we're supposed to say that, but
it's on IMDb.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. I made sure to check, dog. Come on.
Yeah. I did not check. I'm foolish, sorry. But I don't know at this point. I don't know. Right now, I'm literally. I love to play, dude. Like in my years of trying to like figure out what life was to me, because everybody has that point in their life where they're trying to.
Or hopefully they have.
Yeah.
Or it's a good get to it. Yeah.
Kids, it's a good thing for you to not know or understand what life's all about.
Yeah.
It's a good thing because it puts you on that search every now and then to find what's important to you or what life's about. And I had that through a lot of different things and studying a lot of different things. Yeah. And obviously that whole approach changed my life completely. So, yeah, that's kind of my way of looking at it. Is right now my purpose is to play. Like when I really search deep about what am I here for, or at least right now, because that purpose can change. Constantly. I feel, and right now I love to play. Always have. Since I was a little kid, I've been very proficient at playing.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily at work or like playing a character or anything like that, but playing, just getting out there and having fun. I go after it in a very hard way. I'm hard to vacation with. Like extremely, like
you always do stuff.
Yeah, or just leave me alone. If you just go away, if you want to like relax and hang out. Like I do a lot of that, but like I also want to experience, because that's what my searching for what life was all about. You know, it's one lesson I got. It was like, you know, you're here for these experiences. What do you want to experience?
Yeah, man.
This is your choice.
Yeah.
You know, you make this in every way. Go for it. So for now, it's playing. I'm gonna perform as long as I can. Hold on to that. Try to do really cool stuff. If I coordinate with friends, and I'm going to have to go have all my best friends teach me, though.
Dude,
they're going to hate me.
It's crazy, dog. I'm learning so much still, and I'm like, wow. It's intimidating. It's almost like starting over for me. You know?
Yeah, I'm going to come to you and have you teach me too, because you're going to hate me too.
I feel like I'm a white belt in so many ways, but yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's crazy.
Got some stripes. Whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But no, it's good to hear, though, that you've encountered that, because I feel like these are things that maybe like 10, 15 years ago, or maybe when we met on Twilight, we wouldn't be talking about this stuff.
No.
You know? Like we weren't at that capacity in our lives.
Back then I definitely would have told you, I want to be a stunt coordinator. Like I was just like, I didn't know what to think, and so I just went with what
we just followed the norm. The societal norm, I guess, or career norm. You know.
But I think a really good thing, and that's something that's changing in our business, is like, because there is something to be said, like giving back to your business. I talked about this with the great Clay Fontenot once, because shout out Clay Font, because he is like, if you could ask me what do you want to be as a stuntman, I would say Clay Font.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Nicest, most genuine dude with an insane set of skills, an amazing way of looking things. And he said something really important to me that I'll never really forget, because I was telling him I really don't know what to do about coordinating. You know, my friends pressure me about coordinating, not pressure, but try to give me opportunities. And it almost gives you that self-guilt, you know, because you're like, I'm being the kid. I'm being the kid. And people make you feel like you're being the kid for coordinating. I'm not coordinating, for just performing. And he said, you know, at some point, it's good of you to give back to the business and give back by the knowledge you've gained.
Yeah. And
you should coordinate a little bit so that you can, you know, give that knowledge back. And, you know, if that's keeping guys safe, being good to guys in whatever fashion, coming up with cool stuff, you know, that's an important thing. So I thought about it differently since then.
Yeah.
So I don't have it out of my mind, but yeah, I'm just going to do this as long as I can right now and have fun.
Hell yeah. I was curious, because it's something that our generation of guys, it's definitely, we're getting into that period where I want to know, like, how long each guy's going to continue to try to push the wheels for. You know, Aaron Tony just recently,
I saw that,
called the performance off.
Congratulations, Aaron Tony.
Which is cool. Yeah. So
I say, if it's something that you're doing, it means you want to be doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really ever have judgments on one way or another on anybody doing anything like that, because if you're doing something, it means that's what you want to experience right now. Yeah. And dude, congrats for manifesting that. That's amazing. And he's doing such cool things.
Yeah, I can't say what he's doing right now. I wish I could announce that one. That was cool.
And I don't know too much, so I'm gonna keep it that way.
Oh, I'll tell you off camera.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
It'll be cool. I can't wait to drop that. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's sick, man. No, that's super dope, man. It's really surreal for me to see, like I said, someone that was on my first run of a movie to now, like, I see you out here with your kid, and just looks like, you know, you just seem happy.
Heaven.
I feel like that's like the key to everything that a lot of people overlook. I feel like
man,
focus on money too much in this city.
That's one thing that I did, dude. Once you stop focusing on the money, it comes. Simple as that.
That's the greatest piece of advice I think.
And and guys, don't get me wrong, like kids, I don't mean like sit on your bed and smoke pot and like not do anything and don't worry, it's gonna come, dude. Like strive forward.
Yeah.
Do the things that make you happy. It comes.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Or some form of something comes.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point now where I'm starting to pick and choose jobs. Whereas before, you're just a yes man just simply because you're trying to take the checks.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, $1,000, yes, $1,000,
Yeah.
yes. Now I'm like, dude, I just want peace of mind, and I want to work with my friends and good people, and I want to create good projects that'll leave a lasting memory.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm actually, I told you I was up for a major project right now, and I may turn it down just simply because the schedule looks.
I realized what it was after we got off the phone.
The schedule looks so chaotic that I'm like.
Well, I've heard chaotic things about it.
Yeah, and so the schedule's so chaotic that I'm like, man, I really feel like I'm gonna walk into a fire and I'm gonna be miserable.
A no-win situation.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be miserable the entire time, and I already know that now. I'm like, why am I gonna say yes to that? So
If you feel that in your gut, yeah, you can't.
I think I have to say no and walk away from a crap load of money over a short span of time, But
Yeah, you know what though? I mean, especially where you're at, it's gonna come. The next, what you want is gonna come now.
I hope so.
Because of that.
Yeah.
So if you don't do it, yeah, something. Yeah, because when I was done with Spidey, I was happy and sad, because I'm getting older.
Yeah.
I'm 40s right there. Like I'm 39. It's like
yeah.
And I feel great. I feel probably better than I've ever felt. I got a couple old injuries that like changed things, but like I definitely in the best shape of my life. And
same, dog.
yeah, and
males peak later too.
Right.
Yeah.
In our 40s, I'm hearing we can be our best. Wow. So I'm aiming for that. I'm aiming at just like longevity, and not only just for this business, just longevity for my kid. I want to play with him.
100, bro.
Yeah.
You know Ming Q?
Yeah.
Legendary Ming.
Hell yeah.
I don't think I've been able to say this since I just saw her last week. So I got to just recently see her on reshoots for Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen her in like 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I've been wanting to ask her this question. So every year on her dad's birthday, he would do round off back handspring backflip to check if he could still do it. And so I finally saw her and I go, yo, can your dad still do round off back handspring backflip? She goes, he doesn't do the backflip anymore because he's 80 now, but he can still do round off back handspring and aerial and a handstand for 2 minutes.
How old?
80.
At 80.
You can do an aerial on command, a handstand for 2 minutes, and round off back handspring.
That's what I want to do.
That's what I'm saying.
100%. That's now my goal.
So
now
inspiring.
that I hear that about the awesome Ming, that's my goal.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm putting that out there for you, for me, for all of our listeners. Like, bro, there's an 80-year-old man that is still training martial arts every day, and he can still do a flip, dog.
I love it,
Multiple
dude.
flips.
I believe it, man. I'm doing things now that I didn't think I'd do.
Same.
So
yeah. It's crazy, man. I almost wish that I had the knowledge that I had now.
Yes.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure older people could watch this and look at us saying that and be like,
yeah.
yeah, of course, dummy.
Everything, hindsight's always, yeah.
2020, yeah.
Hindsight's always 2020, dog.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Like we look at people younger than us, I'm sure the older people older than us are going, yeah, they're figuring it out.
Yeah, dog. 100, bro. Well, no, man, it's super cool to sit here and have like a discussion about like all these things like after all this time, dog. It's
dude.
It's insane to think how much time has passed since Twilight, which was like,
oh my god,
2009, 2010 maybe. So
that was that long
over
ago.
A decade ago.
In Baton Rouge,
Louisiana.
Yeah. Stuck out in Baton Rouge.
From there down to New Orleans on Percy.
Oh god,
calling people for gold teeth.
Oh god, that was hilarious. Yeah, you can buy sets of gold teeth in New Orleans just by driving behind the right person.
We literally saw an ad on someone's car for gold teeth.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I said, over the years, it's just been super cool to just watch your career continue to progress and being able to still maintain like a friendship, even though we don't get to see each other in person all the time. And I'm really anxious and curious to see what continues to happen in your life and your son's life.
Thanks, man. Yeah, same, dude. Same, dude. It's really been cool to see your path. I remember the first time I ever saw you on a job. And you've murdered it ever since. So it's been equally cool for me to watch. And that I hit you up every now and then just because I think about that.
Yeah. Or sushi.
Yeah. Or Kings. Yeah, definitely hit you up for some Kings. Yeah. This man that knows the joint. But yeah, and you always so kindly hit me up for a job, knowing I'm busy.
Always.
Yeah, knowing that like you see that I'm busy and you hit me up and you're like, yo, we're going to do this spot. Because I always love coming and working with all those guys. So thank you for that. That's awesome.
Of course, man. And hopefully we'll have some more opportunities.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't plan on retiring soon, and you don't sound like you do either. So
I'm trying to do this. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. So, yo, this is a question I always ask people before we get out of here, and I'm curious what your answer is going to be because it kind of puts it more specific. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
I said I wanted to maybe retire late 50s.
Okay.
I didn't want to ride it all the way till
I don't. Yeah, I want to retire on my terms for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to like kind of do an early retirement. So I said 55. Like I wanted to be out. So that'd be really cool if I could be, somewhere I feel really comfortable with everything. I'm gonna have to build a skate park. I'm gonna have to build a set of rings.
Totally.
I'm gonna have to build everything I want around me. So the goal is to have some kind of compound because the world's freaky, man. The world keeps up as it is right now. I mean, we could go one of two ways, but if it keeps up, it is now. Yeah, I want to get somewhere I feel really comfortable.
Okay.
And just watch. Just be in love with my family like I am now. I'm just right now. You're looking at a guy who's like madly in love with his family and life and everyone he knows. So yeah, I'm just stoked in life.
Nothing better, dog. That's
Seriously.
That's like what I said. Like, it just looks like you're so happy right
I am,
now.
yeah.
And I feel like that's something that you can read on someone. You can't fake that. So.
No, yeah, I tear up. Look, thinking about it because I'm happy. Like I've never thought I'd be this happy in my life,
dude. So cool to see, and more than anything, I can't wait to continue to see what happens, man. So
Totally.
Yo, with that being said, man, before we get out of here, can you just look in that camera and let people know where they can follow you and stay up to date with your journey?
Dude. Holland Diaz on Instagram. HOLLAND. Oh, sorry.
We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, we'll put that on the
Yeah,
screen. Yeah. Holland Diaz on Instagram. I'm on YouTube, but I don't really use it. Holland Diaz. No one can ever find my name, use my name for anything. So it's usually just my name, Holland Diaz. And
Got a lock on.
yeah.
You're lucky, man. Someone bought my website, and I just got it back. I just got it after 10 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, someone forgot to renew it, and I went, swoop.
That's how that works. Okay.
So that being said, guys, thank you for watching another episode. Please be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe for brand new episodes each and every week. Join us every Monday for Jam Breakdowns and every Friday for brand new JAMCast, interviewing influential members of the movement community like Mr. Holland Diaz himself. So with that being said, guys, I got to give one more very special shout out. Thanks for coming through, homie. I really appreciate it.
Loved it, dude. Stoked to be on here.
Hell yes. And as always, guys, coming through, I'm your host, Travis Wong. Thanks for joining us here on another JAMCast. Until next time, we'll see you all soon. Peace.